present. John Durso.
Present.
George Barton is absent. Linda Green.
Present.
Wanda Jackson.
Present.
Edward Powers is absent. George Ciberone is absent. Donna Tooman is absent. Dr. Weiss.
Present.
Bridget Russell.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Great, thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of September 19th, December 10th, 2019? September 10th, 2019. Do I have a motion to approve the
Motion.
minutes? Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm going to have to abstain because I was not present for the meeting. So it will not have passed then. Reports from standing committees, we're going to finance. Bridget, can I ask you to do the first one, which is the number 2?
Yep. Resolved upon the recommendation of the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees, Finance and Capital Committee, the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees hereby approves the pending college procurement agreement with technical temperature in the annual amount of $140,000 as requested by VP Facilities Management, Muscarella.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? Thank you. Next one, can I ask, Ms. Green, can you do the next number 3?
Yes. Resolved upon the recommendation of the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees, Finance and Capital Committee. The Nassau Community College Board of Trustees hereby approves the pending college procurement agreement with Ingram & Smith LLP in the annual amount of $250,000 as requested by General Counsel Hagan, funding source operating.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those, are there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? Motion passes. The next is the minimum wage. I think we can go straight to the be it resolved. Mr. Durso, would you be
Thank
do
you.
that?
Be it resolved, the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees authorizes the increase in the hourly rate of pay for Nassau Community College student aides and federal work-study employees from $12 to $13 effective December 31st, 2019 for on and off campus employment.
Do I have a motion to consider the item?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? Ms. Jackson, could you do the next? And if you want, you can go straight to the be it resolved.
Resolved that the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees accepts the donation of Fuji FCR Gold Portable X-ray Unit Model CRI358RU.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
So thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Just a comment, it's worth $1,100, so thank you to North Shore University. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? Motion carries. I make a motion under Article 8, Section C6 of the Board's Rules of Procedures to allow for the consideration of an item that does not appear on the calendar. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? Okay. I'm going around the table. So John? Grace?
Okay. Be resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby ratifies and approves the settlement agreement and mutual general release regarding employment of a certain employee entered into by Nassau Community College, and it be further resolved that the Board of Trustees accepts the revocable retirement of the employee who is subject of said agreement.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. We discuss this in executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. Settlement will be signed. Report of the President.
Thank you, Trustee Weiss. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. So we're about halfway through the fall semester. It truly is flying by. About halfway through the fall semester, and I wanted to start off with some student highlights. Obviously, that's why we're here. So I think it's good to just kind of share some things that have occurred I went to our first production of Almost Maine this past Sunday. I went to the matinee, and I'm a bit of a sucker for romantic comedy, so I had a great time. I thought it was fantastic, but also to highlight the theater and dance department for their leadership in making this happen. Special thanks to the director, Professor David Overton. The student cast and crew about 25. So these students, dedicated to theater, dance, performing arts. It was a fantastic afternoon. Earlier, actually, that day, this is a couple days ago, the SUNY student trustee, so the trustee that sits on the SUNY board, and the SUNY Student Assembly were hosted by Nassau Community College. So they have a goal of attending all of the 64 campuses throughout the course of the year. They spent the weekend at Stony Brook and then joined us for breakfast, a tour, some breakout sessions. This is an awesome kind of highlight in regards to, this was coordinated by our SGA president, Bryce Mack, and his SGA team, several of who were there on Sunday. Bryce, not only is he an elected member of the SUNY Student Assembly, on Saturday he was appointed to be vice chair of their community college division. So like large entities, they have different divisions, different sectors. So we have that representation at the state level. Just goes to show how engaged our students are. And for some things that aren't as quite organized, this is all, I realize, just a weekend piece. Saturday morning, I spent part of it walking around, talking to some of our students who are taking classes. And that's one of my favorite pieces, is kind of walking around randomly engaging students. A&P, Anatomy and Physiology 1, Bio 1, 101, a couple students who were in what they termed as pronunciation class. When students are here on a Saturday from literally like 8 to 4 or 9 to 3, I mean, these 4-credit classes, when they're here all day, once a week, and you hear their stories about what they're doing all week long and why they're here, it really does help to kind of ground and make sure we're kind of sutured in being student-oriented. So just wanted to share some of those highlights in regards to students. Our fall enrollment on September 24th, the enrollment census date, compared to the census date from last year, we were at 5.58% down. Right, I wanted to give an update because I provided an update at the September board meeting. As a reminder, the budget was approved at -7.5. So definitely better than what we projected. We need to keep our foot on the pedal and really just trying to chop away at that. So we'll look at strategies to leverage for winter. That has been decreasing over the past few years, but maybe there's a way we can kind of change that and turn that around. We'll be engaging some folks and see what that looks like, and also keep an eye on spring and summer. In regards to some kind of coordination and some efforts with government relations, the county executive Karen, and her deputy chief Williams will be visiting the college on Friday, the 18th. So they're going to do a little bit of a tour. They're going to start the C clusters, and then they're going to go over to North Hall, which, as we know, has just been renovated. One of the goals is so they can see what something looked like before it's renovated, and then they can kind of see North Hall after it's renovated. This is important because they play a role, obviously, in our capital funding and our operating costs, and we want to make it very evident, what we're doing with money and how we're good stewards of public funds. So just wanted to let people be aware of that. We're also going to invite the legislature as well as our assembly and our senators to do somewhat of a similar tour because, again, we rely on them as well. Looking and just as a really quickly, there's going to be a public hearing on the cost of higher education. I think this kind of the word has gotten out about this, and we're going to spread it a little more widely, and that is going to be at the college on November 1st. So we're thankful to be able to host this. Several members of the college, I'm looking at one now, including myself, have been asked to share public comments. There's going to be a few of us who are going to really coordinate this in a panel effort in speaking with SUNY and having kind of a concerted effort to have one voice, a similar voice, obviously not one voice with 3 people, but a similar voice, and really leverage that opportunity. It's going to be more of a panel piece. for a few of us, but just wanted to share that with people. In regards to some external pieces, thanks to Trustee Weiss, having an opportunity to schedule meetings with our quadrants, our superintendent quadrants. So last week I visited with our Northeast quadrant of superintendents, which was fantastic, because one of the things I've been hearing is that we really need to capitalize on our relationships with the schools, with the superintendents, with the school districts. So this is one way, one effort that, utilizing the role that I have, and doing that is really engaging the superintendents, which will also lead to the principals. Some reports out on that is they're very anxious to work with Nassau Community College. And I should say work, I say partner, right? Extremely anxious, and they're excited about certain changes that have occurred. So that was fantastic, and we'll be looking forward to partnering with several entities at the college, obviously, as well as our school district, to see how we can bolster our relationships. We will have, and this was mentioned at our last Senate meeting, I believe by our friend Fracinda, that there is going to be a colloquium on dual enrollment. So that message will be going out. If it hasn't gone out already, that'll be on Friday, the 25th of October. This is something that's very exciting because it's a joint coordination through the Leadership Council, which is, hopefully people know, leadership from our NCCFT, our Academic Senate, our AFA, our Chair of Chairs, our VP Kanzati and Collins, and also myself. So it's, again, a partnership to really introduce dual enrollment and see where we can take this at Nassau Community College. So we're very excited about that. To reiterate, we're one of 3 of the 30 community colleges that do not really implement dual enrollment. So this is something for us to leverage. And again, with speaking with superintendents, I know that they're very excited to partner with Nassau. I met with 2 superintendents since I arrived, and they've gone so far as to, one has bused students out to Queensborough Community College, and one has bused their students out to Suffolk Community College for dual enrollment opportunities. They're very excited to work with us. In regards to dual enrollment, there's some just kind of untapped opportunities that we can really leverage in regards to providing educational access for our students in Nassau County. So really looking forward to partnering with several entities at the college to advance this initiative. The SAFER grant, really quickly, just a few more items. For those who are potentially unfamiliar, this is an opportunity that offers tuition to volunteer firefighters. And there was kind of the potential for this to run out, just to kind of minimize it. Thankfully, this was passed by the Public Safety and the Rules Committee last week of the ledge of our county legislature. So that is fantastic. It'll go to the full legislature on Monday, the 28th. And the way the legislation has been written this time is that it would actually be in perpetuity. So in the sense that there would be no time that it would stop. And it's also been written in a way that it would extend to ambulance corps and auxiliary police officers. This is a fantastic opportunity. Just last year, in fall 2018, we had 182 students who took advantage of the SAFER grant opportunity, and in spring there were an additional 134 students. So again, it's an opportunity for us to provide access to education. It doesn't have to be fire science, it doesn't have to be criminal justice. It's by virtue of what they're doing and their contribution to the county that they can avail themselves of this opportunity. So it's, again, it's a wonderful opportunity for us to partner and really show our dedication to those who are first responders and putting their lives literally on the line for the county. So it's a fantastic opportunity. A few other quick items. And I share with the group, everyone knows, hopefully I'm in the middle of my learning journey. And to date, I've spoken with more than 260 internal and external constituents. That is above and beyond the kind of just the meetings that you have on a day-to-day basis. So definitely off and running. Don't worry, I'm gathering a lot of information and making informed decisions, and common themes are being solidified. And to that end, I'm happy to share that we've recently posted for a Director of Marketing and Communications That was a common theme that was heard, I don't want to say for everyone, but a large majority of individuals and constituents have identified the opportunity for us to better leverage marketing and communication. So we had that position that was recently posted. We did go through a search, so this is what I would call a replacement. This is not a new position. Funds were there. And then also Vice President of Institutional Advancement role has been posted recently, just this past Friday. So this would be our much needed kind of intergovernmental affairs. Our Director of Marketing and Communications would report to this individual, other entities, our Executive Director of Foundations, so we can really leverage our philanthropic opportunities would report. So just to illustrate that we are being, and I am being responsive to things that I am hearing, and again, hopeful with a plan of sharing this, shared vision back to the group in late fall, early spring, but wanted to make everyone aware that things are being acted upon. So we're in the final stages of some other searches in regards to our controller and the vice president of finance. So we'll be looking to solidify those in the very near future. Wanted to provide that update. And while I could go on because so much occurs, I'm really here to give the highlights and be brief yet comprehensive, which is it's challenging. So that'll be the final piece of my report. I'm thankful to everyone who is being supportive. This truly is an institution filled with individuals who are dedicated to student success, and I'm just excited and overjoyed every day to have the role that I have. So thank you for listening, and thank you for partnering.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. We have a speaker tonight, Frank Fresenda.
Just me?
Just you. You're it, Frank.
Frank Crescendo, NCC FT. So we're just going to keep this brief. The honeymoon continues. Okay? It's October, okay? And from my vantage point, I am so impressed with you, Dr. Williams, okay? You allow the faculty, you hear our voice, okay? You allow our participation. We still feel that we have open communications with the administration on this campus. I feel very comfortable that I can speak to any administrator on this campus, and we can have an honest discussion, and we can go into the dome of silence and just say what we have to say to understand each other. So I appreciate your leadership. I'm happy you're here on campus in October, okay? It changed, all right? But that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, last announcements then. The next Finance Capital Committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, November 12th at 5 p.m., followed by the full board meeting. The board will open public session between 6:15 and 6:30 and resume public session at approximately 7:30. I'd like to request a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. I have a second.
Second.
Got a little fight over it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I didn't think so. Any abstentions? Meeting's adjourned at 7:35.
Now it's like a record again.
What happened